This is a 5-minute update from this week in Evansville. We're updating the story of the Morton warehouse with you here today. And I'm out on the site, and you can see in the background all of this rubble, all of the, just where it's piles of bricks and tangled steel on this lot, and there is nothing securing the lot. So anybody can just walk right onto the property, whether it's a kid that's just curious or whether it's an adult who's here to pick up scraps of steel to sell. There's nothing that impedes them from getting onto the property. And the city has done absolutely nothing at all about it. Now, when we first brought you this story in the City County Observer and on our podcast, we got a reply from the building commissioner for Evansville, and he informed us that he had personally been out on the property and that other inspectors had come out, that they had sent notices to the owner of record, and that they had issued some citations over the property. Well, then we did a Freedom of Information Act request to the city for copies of those records. And the letter that we got back says there are no citations and there are no notices on file, which would mean that if they don't have them on file, they've done absolutely nothing in regard to this property. Let me repeat that. They have no records on file of citations issued regarding this property, with the exception of some grass violations. The weeds got too high. But these dangerous piles of steel and bricks, nothing. The fact that there is no fence, nothing. The fact there's one no trespassing sign posted on the property, that doesn't mean anything, because the city has been unwilling to push things any farther than that. I don't know where this thing goes next. But the simple fact is somebody's going to come in on this property. In fact, I talked to a guy who owns a business located right by this property, and he tells me that there have been people on this property every single day. The scrappers come in with pickups, and they just grab chunks of steel and throw them in the back of the truck and go and sell them. And that there's just a nonstop flow of traffic coming onto this property to do that. In addition, he told me that he knows of at least 2 injuries that have taken place on the property. So 2 people have fallen or had something else happen to them while they were here on the property. Minor incidents, but still injuries all the same. And the bottom line is there's going to be a lot more than that, because what's going to wind up happening here is somebody's going to take a serious fall, or one of these walls is going to collapse with a person standing right by it and seriously injure a person. And when that happens, guess who's going to get sued? It'll be the taxpayers, of course. You and I are going to pay for that person's carelessness in coming on the property. We were told when we first started investigating this that there was no law on the books for Evansville that could get them to demand that a fence go up around the property. And then we went to city code, and we actually found the code that says that if there's a danger there, that it has to be secured. But the city hasn't demanded that of the owner of this property as of yet. We wrote to the mayor and we said, maybe you should come and take a look at this property. Maybe you'll get motivated to do something with it at that point. We've received no reply. So every day that ticks by, it gets closer and closer to the possibility that there will be somebody seriously injured here, and you and I and the taxpayers of the area are going to be on the hook for the injuries that take place here. It's time to do something with it. And it's not just the money. Money is not the primary issue. It's about the injury to the person, the possible serious injuries that could happen here, and especially if it winds up being a kid. So, time for this to get fixed. Contact your city council member, contact the mayor's office, let them know you want something done about the Morton Avenue property. Thanks. That's a 5-minute update from This Week in Evansville.